2nd and 8. Harris picks his way to the right, patiently gets the corner, and just barrels over Shaun Wade. Another first down inside the 30.
There's Garrett, who's very, very talented.
2 tight ends and running behind a linebacker, Joshua McMullen. Najee Harris barrels in for his 25th rushing touchdown. Fields has time in the pocket, delivers downfield, and the catch is made by Olave. It's a first down in Bama territory.
And now you got to pick on the corner instead of man-to-man. Fields does a good job of recognizing that. He's got to, the corner stays up tight.
Fields protects it down the middle. One-handed tight end catch, Jeremy Ruckert. And the tight ends who are so huge.
Safeties go here and here, which opens up the middle of the field for the big tight end who's got receiver skills in Ruckert. He had a big game, like you said, Chris, against Clemson. Watch him work against Harris, getting vertical. Great throw, soft touch, allowing the big man to use that right hand.
Guys are going to have to make plays like that tonight, as you said, if they're going to stay with this Bama offense. Teague runs left and scores, and Ohio State does answer quickly. What a drive. Jones, 6 of 8 in that drive, 5 different receivers. Play action on first down, looking to launch deep. Smith is wide open, makes the catch, and is spun out of bounds in Ohio State territory, but they lost the Heisman winner in coverage. Smith set to the left, tight formation. Jones flips it to him. Devontae headed for the end zone, and Alabama back on top. As Smith scores his 44th career touchdown. That's number 6 all time. Buckeyes need 7 on 3rd. Blitz comes. Fields sidesteps it nicely. It's a fluttering pass into traffic, and the catch is made nicely by Garrett Wilson. Well, faces some pressure there. Lost the football, and Ohio State takes it away. Baron Browning falls on it. That's the play the Buckeye defense needed. A rare turnover for the Tide.
Outside, look at 19. He's coming around to pick up that blitz, but Browning times it up perfectly, and because he got in there so quickly, Billingsley's not able to make that block, and he catches Jones off guard.
Olave comes back in motion. Teague barrels in. Touchdown, Ohio State. They cash in the fumble recovery and draw even. You cannot be serious.
Right. He's grown.
First down throw far side, back shoulder throw. What a catch.
Gives you another example of why he's the premier receiver in college football. Gets both his feet down. How about the length of his arms and his legs? He's able to extend, get out, catch the ball, and to get his feet down for that first down.
8. An incredible wide receiver room in recent years at wide receiver U. Buckeyes have a run blitz, but Harris gets through it and barrels for a first down. Tide on the move again inside the 35. Buckeyes unavailable tonight. In 2nd and 3, Jones is pressured, lofts it to Harris, who collects it, gets around Borland, and leaps to the end zone. A hat trick for Najee Harris.
You'll see the blitz by 5. Baron Browning, who made that big play to create that fumble. They're getting aggressive. They turn him loose. The only problem is Mac Jones feels it, recognizes it, and gets the ball out. Browning would have had him covered, but instead he goes on the blitz. And then, wow, Najee Harris. Such an impressive back, a complete back. That could be a big stop for a defense. Can Ohio State keep the pace, though?
2nd and 7. Fields escapes and looks pretty good as a runner there. Open field. And will finally step out of bounds.
That they've got to account for, but nobody accounts for the quarterback.
Crank the tempo, and Teague breaks free down the sidelines and barrels inside the 15 before Battle forced him out.
And so he'll pull it and throw the football. The lineman got to be careful. He was 4 or 5 yards downfield.
Outland Trophy winner negates a first down catch. Doesn't matter. They find Mechie again and back across the 35. Move the sticks. Being the leading rusher for Bama off the bench. Jones looking to throw far side, has Smith in stride, and the Heisman winner knocked out at the 15. Monster night.
Short, really good move to the inside. Shaun Wade does not get his hands on Devontae Smith at all. If you're going to get up into the face of number 6, wow, it's like you're traveling.
He's an impact player tonight. First and goal, Jones on the run, and it's just too easy for Devontae Smith as he just adds to his records and milestones, and Bama stretches the lead. Play action. Jones steps up right down the middle of the field. It's touchdown. Devontae Smith cannot be stopped. A truly special performance by the Heisman Trophy winner. 3 touchdowns in the first half.
The safety in that seam.
Times they make it look easy, but it's play concept, playmaker, accurate quarterback. And Kirk, this is scary, but look at the last 39 drives. 3 more touchdowns. He balls past Ryan Broyles. That's the most ever for a Power 5 receiver. Career touchdowns. Fields on the move, and it's Garrett Wilson coming back and making a nice catch. Top weapon, Chris Olave, has been held in check. Just 2 catches for 23 yards. Fields with a keeper, makes a cut, and in the clear. Justin Fields will finally be tracked down in the red zone. From the pocket, lofted to the end zone, high throw, caught, Wilson, touchdown, Ohio State still alive. Exactly what they needed. Robinson again, scoots into the secondary, still running, spinning, and banging down near the 10. Fresh legs into Spell Harris and showing you his skills. That's Bolden who came in motion, got it in the flat, and got a touchdown. Slade Bolden dives into the end zone for his very first career touchdown, and Matt Jones there to celebrate with the sophomore from Louisiana. Final 30 seconds of the third. That's Harris in motion. They fake it to him, and now fire downfield. Mechie in space, breaks a tackle, and dives down near the 15. He's quietly had a strong night. McMillan is the linebacker, lines up at fullback in front of Harris, and behind number 40's block. Najee makes it look easy. Goes in standing up. There is his 3rd touchdown, and Alabama closing in. The Remington Award-winning center injured against Florida was out there as the captain on the coin toss, and Alabama, it's that guy again, Christian Barmore, making a name for himself, maybe making some money.
Moved from left guard now to right guard, and he's just got a misunderstanding. He steps down, and the last thing you want to do is give a guy who's had such a big night just a free pass to the quarterback. 13 since the AP poll came along in the mid-30s, and Robinson still running hard, bangs out across the 30-yard line. And now you're seeing Young. Many people thought he should get the job. Alabama fans were hoping he'd beat out Jones, and they thought, okay, Mac's going to be a transitional quarterback until we get this hot shot in here. Right.
In a season of chaos, the Crimson Tide are the conference. Constant excellence. Bama bludgeons the Buckeyes, and Saban steps past Paul Bryant with his 7th national championship. Bama's got a really consistent kicker in this couple of years. Will Riker, 18 of 23 on the season, and he hammers it right through. Zamir White, call him Zeus, in the backfield. They fake it to him. Bennett pressured on the rollout, and he's going to be sacked immediately. Christian Harris got there, and it's a big loss.
To Stetson Bennett back here in case the action comes away. Watch his discipline to stay back off of that. And I mean, you're talking about a linebacker.
Williams in motion. Backpedaling. Young gets it to Bolden, but he's not going to get there. Lewis Seen came flying in, dropped him for a loss.
Right in the middle here, right to the outside, but Lewis Seen does a great job of following this to the outside, in position, comes up there and makes the tackle on Bolden. Also the pressure. How many times did we see Bryce Young falling back?
And they fake it to Bowers. Here's a downfield shot. George Pickens, a diving catch. As the elite receiver has waited a long time to make a play like that in the big game.
This is a matchup we wanted to see to the left. He gets inside of him. Safeties are caught up on the crosser, so it's one-on-one. What a throw by Bennett to put it up into the air to give Pickens a chance to get separation and then go get the ball and lay out.
Bootleg wants to take a shot downfield, is slammed to the ground. That was Dallas Turner, that other talented young inside linebacker.
And a back trying to get around to help. Watch Georgia. They've got a tackle and then the back White trying to help. He goes all the way around them both and eventually is able to make that sack.
Tall, long from Fort Lauderdale. He's the next elite edge rusher for this defense, isn't he? Jack Podlesny, reliable kicker, 20 of 25 this year. This from 24 yards right down the middle. A much needed rest, Kirk. That long drive gave him a chance to recover. Trying to get after Young, who launches to Williams, who's wide open down the field. How, you wonder? He's to the Georgia 35. The main target staying down, though, and gripping his knee.
Right down the middle of this defense. Safeties are both to the outside and works right down the middle behind the linebackers. Safeties are held to the outside with outside perimeter routes.
Reichard was good earlier from 37 and hammers this one through from 45. But a big job to do in the meantime. Young across the middle. It's caught. And Latua running down the field. Can they track the tight end down? They try to punch the ball free. They can't. He's inside the 10. Young on the move. Backpedaling. And they've got him back to the 20. Channing Tindall, a tremendous series.
Initially rushed 3, and then eventually Tindall is just kind of waiting. He's been told we cannot let him get outside. Don't let him get outside of us this time.
In the SEC championship game, sack Bryce Young. Reichard providing all the Alabama points so far. Podlesny, this is the longest field goal attempt of the season, but within his range in his career, and that's a beauty. Now back off the line of scrimmage. Young across the middle, catch made. Jai Hall works his way free, and the freshman steps up in the absence of Williams and makes a big play. And White slips out of a tackle. Cuts through a crease and barrels into Alabama territory. There goes Zeus. No doubt, Holly, we've seen a couple of guys make plays. The passing game has actually been clicking. They just haven't found the end zone. Young launches downfield to Billingsley, and it's picked off by Smith. The safety was lurking back there. The tight end was well covered, and the Dogs with tonight's first takeaway.
Can't get off of the coverage from Poole. He's kind of locked up there. He gets hands on him. The ball sails where he thought Billingsley would be able to get to, and Smith comes over for the interception.
Alabama's side, that might be because their big play guy is out of there. Robinson finally making a play, breaking tackles, showing some determination, and that gets a roar from the Bama fans who've waited all night to see a run like that.
We saw Georgia defense getting tired.
Robinson again hit low and knocked down by Nolan Smith. The reliable Reichard tries to make it 4 for 4 tonight, but it's blocked. The Dogs are very good at blocking field goals. That's the 3rd this season, and the lead is still 3.
get a big push by Wyatt. 88, also Carter. Looks like Carter's left hand knocked that ball away.
Cook makes a cut. He's got blazing speed. James Cook in a foot race. Can the Tide track him down? They finally get him inside the 15. Battles saved the touchdown, but the Dogs instantly threatened.
Pick up a nice couple blocks. It's one of the first times. Remember, they had a couple runs by White, but this is a different kind of run because of the vision and the cutback and then the speed. That's just natural instincts as a ball carrier instead of keeping that place. He's over on the left side.
And Zeus White muscles in the first touchdown of this championship game, and Georgia claims its first lead.
Got away from Stetson Bennett. How fortunate is he to hold on to that ball? We're all caught up in the big guys, right? We're looking out there. Oh my gosh, look at Jordan Davis. Look at Jalen Carter.
Suddenly Bama inside the 35. Young launching downfield. Catch is made by Hall. Dropped one earlier. No mistake that time. He beat Chris Smith. He sends out Reinhardt from 21. And he does not get through. So the fourth field goal from Reinhardt in 5 attempts makes it 3rd and 8. Here comes the pressure. Bennett immediately on the run. He'll be chased down. Tries to make a desperation heave. Harris had him in the grasp. That ball nowhere near back to the line of scrimmage.
No, I think he was calling that. I don't know if that ball came out of his hand before his arm came forward, but the referee was right there.
Discussing whether perhaps was a fumble.
He
Bounced out of bounds at the 15.
He threw the beanbag down.
Rolling on the field is a fumble.
Yeah.
Recovered by the defense. First down.
Pressure. Young. Touchdown! On the run, he found Latu. Tide's first touchdown, and Alabama reclaims the lead with 10:14 to play. Who can make a play? It was Pickens earlier with the long catch. Cook with the electric run. And now on first down, Bennett was a long throw. And it's Burton who makes the play. McKinstry pushes him out. First down across the 40. Bowers hasn't yet gotten involved in this half. Keep in mind the tight end is their top receiver. Bennett hammered, pressured, and knocked down from behind.
About 6'4", 245 pounds, and he pressures the quarterback with that same relentless approach.
And that's too much speed and power for a pretty good blocking tight end, Fitzpatrick. Now another flag. Bennett launching. Mitchell. Caught it. Touchdown, Georgia. With a free play, the Dogs retake the lead.
He sees Tim Smith jump. He says, what the heck? Let's go to the young corner. We've gone after him here a little bit on this drive. Let's take a shot with my freshman Mitchell against Jackson. Ball underthrown just a bit. Jackson never turns to find the ball, and a great job again by a Georgia player locking in to secure the football.
Dogs have not tried a two-point conversion this season. Haven't had a need to until right now. Dogs don't blitz. Young has time. Off the hands of Slade Bolden, who is covered tightly by William Poole. And the Dogs defense gets a stop.
Wow.
I don't like this spot at all. It's 3rd and 1. They're going to throw for it. Bowers has got it. He's got a blocker. Touchdown, Georgia. There is a flag down, though. Hold on. There's a flag near the line of scrimmage. Bennett says it's on Bama.
I think they hit him. I think they hit Stetson Bennett after he released the football. Jordan Battle on a blitz came through and hit Stetson Bennett in the face.
You had a feeling the guy as talented as Brock Bowers, who's made an impact from the moment he arrived on campus, had a big game in the opener against Clemson.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 9. Defense. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Here's the pressure here. Nobody picks up Brock Bowers. Eventually, Toe thinks, I got to get out there, but his eyes were in the backfield. There you can see Battle hit Stetson Bennett, but nobody out there. And Bowers is able to get free and walk into the end zone. Bama kind of rolling the dice, hoping that they would get to Bennett. Nobody takes Brock Bowers. That's an easy touchdown.
Georgia brings pressure. Young backpedals and delivers a strike across the middle to Robinson. First down to the 43. Biggest third down in Bryce Young's career. He needs 10. Play clock at 4. From the pocket. Launching downfield. Underthrown and intercepted. Keely Ringo has an escort down the sidelines. All the way to the end zone. And Georgia is going to conquer the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, he's to the outside. The receiver's to the outside. Bryce, he didn't get pressure, but I don't know if he's expecting a back shoulder throw or bringing Holden back, whatever it might have been. But unlike Kendrick, Ringo gets his eyes on the ball, and he sees that it's underthrown and adjusts back and makes that interception. As you said, he had a convoy in front of him. It wasn't just about securing this. And look at Kirby in the background. That's elevation. That was 38 inches right there by Kirby Smart.
We saw the speed earlier. There's the vertical jump.
Yeah.
Ringo, as a freshman, his first interception. Bennett responding after the fumble with a tremendous throw and catch. And then the pick six to seal it. And one more play for the Georgia defense. Georgia on the mountaintop. Demons be gone, and the drought is over. National champions at long last.
Remember, TCU gave up some big plays early in that opening drive against Michigan, then squeezed and forced the
keeper. Bennett gets a block. Georgia draws first blood. Unlike the game against Ohio State, clicking quickly. Bennett, one little cut and the smooth run into the end zone. Frogs could use a break. It's Davis in motion. He's got it on the jet sweep. Darius Davis blazing fast, lost the ball. It's on the ground. A scrum right near the TCU bench. Georgia says they've got it, and they do. Second down against the three-man rush. Launching downfield. Darius Davis is wide open. Has to wait in the throw, but weaves his way down inside the 15. It's a coverage bust and a big play desperately needed.
Sometimes Quentin Johnston as an NFL first-round type of guy.
3rd and 1. That's Johnston in motion. Dug in with the keeper, scores! A touchdown run for each quarterback. And TCU fights back. Nice drive.
Possibility of the run. Look at the man-to-man, just clears out the defensive back here. It just opens up. Very simple for Duggan, an easy read.
By far the most targeted receiver in this offense. McIntosh running to the right, bounces off a tackle, and another big game. This Georgia ground game is churning early.
Not dealing with much pressure at all when he does drop back to throw.
With the play action, Bennett looks down the middle. McConkey's wide open. Touchdown, Dogs.
Look at TCU's defense. They're not even lined up. They react late here, and now you got motion. So right away there's confusion. Here's the bust right here by Tomlinson. See the back coming out of the backfield? He sees him, lets the receiver McConkey go downfield. So there's a lot.
It's the right tackle, Andrew Coker, a 3-year starter who appears to be struggling at the moment. Keep an eye on that. Duggan looking to throw. Pressure on first down, and they get him. It was a good coverage sack, but finally, Michael Williams, the true freshman, has become the best pass rusher on this defense, gets home. Bennett has all kinds of time. Launches for Bowers again, who makes the catch in TCU territory.
Well, the ball better come out quickly in an empty set.
Snap it at 2. He's immediately pressured. Winters chasing Bennett, 13 versus 13, but the quarterback wins that battle. Some fresh bodies in for TCU. They got backups to go along the defensive front. McIntosh around the corner, barrels down, another first down. First and goal for Georgia. 11th play of the drive. Bennett keeping all the way and just sauntering into the end zone. His second rushing touchdown, and Georgia throwing haymakers and building a big lead now.
Move with the receivers, nobody on the edge of that defense. We saw Bennett score a touchdown like that against Ohio State. Look at how easy that is for Broderick Jones, 59. He's trying to look for somebody to block. Milton's trying to find somebody.
Normally he lines up on the left almost every time. Duggan sidesteps the rush, launches downfield. Johnson, the intended receiver, but it's picked off. Javon Bullard patrolling the deep middle of the field, and it's the second takeaway for the Dogs defense. Bursting up the middle and barreling down to the 30-yard line is McIntosh. TCU backs off, rushes 3, plays coverage. Bennett down the middle, catch made. Bowers. Doesn't matter how many guys you put in coverage, they can't cover him or tackle him easily. Milton, no problem. Georgia overpowering TCU.
I think the word that you just used pretty much sums up the first half for the TCU defense, being overpowered by Georgia. 2 linebackers right in position there to make a nice play.
Duggan swarmed and knocked down. Georgia relentless on both sides. Bear Alexander, a true freshman, joining the party. Duggan stands and delivers, but it's intercepted. Made a mistake, and Javon Bullard has had a huge first half with takeaway number 3. And no, Georgia is not done in the first half. Their worst defended route, those routes down the seam in the middle. Bennett looking this time to the edge. Mitchell, one-handed catch for a touchdown. And the highlight reel continues.
Try to get that ball back. That's just brought in with his body and his right hand to try to secure it. Newton never really gives up on the play as they hit the ground.
Bennett still got it, looking to throw in first down, flips it to Bowers. This is where we began, and Bowers pours it on, weaves his way deep into TCU territory, finally wrestled down. 6th catch of the night for the big fella from Napa. TCU fans hoping that it will create some kind of a turnaround here, but that's reaching a bit. Ball to the end zone. Bowers, touchdown. And Bennett continues to dazzle. And Brock Bowers showing that he is one of the elite athletes in this sport.
Space by being on the outside. Here you create space with a condensed formation, and then you create the one-on-one matchup, and you work back out to the outside against Abe Kamara in a mismatch. He's beat off the line of scrimmage. He's trying to play catch-up, never locates the ball, and a great adjustment back to the ball by the big gifted tight end.
They ran it and threw it. Overmatched tonight. Duggan hammered, collected the snap, and collided with Big Bear Alexander. The true freshman has made 2 big plays tonight.
Against Ali, he shows great balance here. I thought he might go down himself. You saw Duggan kind of slip. I was very disappointed to hear that the big man was not going to be out here, but at least he's enjoying it at home.
Edwards runs to the right, breaking tackles. You know that Bulldogs are...
Yeah, when it really mattered there in the last couple possessions.
McConkey on the reverse, flashes his speed, and is knocked down across the 40. And Todd Monken continues to have fun with this big playbook.
I could easily see a Stetson Bennett in that kind of system being effective because he distributes the ball and he's intelligent.
And 3rd and 8, right down the seam, and there's Big O, Darnell Washington, joining the tight end party tonight down to the 11-yard line. Bennett once more goes to the end zone. McConkey with another touchdown catch. Not done dominating yet. They've hit half 100 now. Early stages of the second quarter. Buckeye on third and long, flips it short. DeMarcado's hit behind the line immediately by Kamari Lassiter, and his fourth down and long. Folks in black sure like to say, hey, we believe from the start. That was their rallying cry a year ago when he won his first championship. Back on a slant. That's a good looking throw to Dylan Bell, a true freshman.
There's that arm. People wanted him out before the Michigan game.
For that. Enough inside, and there's that good looking freshman, Branson Robinson, who's still running, by the way, dragging people into the end zone. Actually, they're going to spot him just short. Not quite a touchdown.
These guys come in and you think, okay, it's the backups, no problem. Wrong. These guys are swinging as hard, if not harder, than the starters.
He's got it again, and this time will not be denied. They haven't signaled yet. He's got to be falling in the end zone. It is finally a touchdown. 4 true freshmen in the field at the moment for Georgia's defense, and they continue to get after the veteran quarterback and drop him behind the line. That's Tyke Smith. Tremendous career at TCU. Hung in, quarterback of some not very good teams. Took over this team, and let's go to Branson Robinson one more time, and the freshman just scoots in, and Georgia, it's the 60 mark.
Watch the left side, combo block, climb to the linebacker. He's met in the hole by the nose guard, Williams, and he just kind of stutters his step and gets to the end zone. Little stutter step, creates that hesitation, and then for a big guy, he can accelerate. It's the AT&T Pylon 5G.
Off the right side, Savon Clark, and the beat goes on as the backups continue to make plays. Holly? But the Georgia Bulldogs bludgeon their way to back-to-back. Glory, glory, Georgia, as the fight song says. Leaving no doubt. That's been the mantra. They made it real tonight. Respect for these two warrior quarterbacks, Heisman finalists. Corum, or Mullings, I should say, barreling free. The physical player who's been in the background most of the season has come up big in the postseason.
Frees up the guard to be able to come around. You want to create a dent on that side of the defensive line, which they do. And then big 77 Trevor Keegan can get around to be able to pick up a nice block. And this is, if you were envisioning how this game would go.
Play fake, McCarthy looks down the field, can't escape. And the Huskies with their first sack tonight. Slammed down for about a 4-yard loss. Michigan behind the sticks for a 2nd and 14. Donovan Edwards rotates in at the back. He's got the football. Bumps into traffic and escapes. Donovan Edwards racing to the end zone. Michigan flexing immediately. 41 yards since the Penn State game, but it shows you the depth at running back and the power up front on display. Michigan hammers away. 84-yard touchdown drive. Penix, his turn next. Penix pitches it out, and the catch is made by Tyler Rogers. Shakes a tackle, and the freshman gets loose for a first down in Michigan territory. How big a part of the run game he is. Guys will have to step up. Roma Dunze in traffic makes a catch and works his way free. Yards after the catch. A huge concern for the Wolverines tonight. Done himself a lot since some dark times in his high school career, which he shared. Play fake, McCarthy. Right down the middle of the field, caught in stride by Roman Wilson. Perfect throw, and the top receiver is loose into Husky territory. Donovan Edwards, who scored the touchdown in the first possession, back in the game, and he's loose again. Edwards off and running. Welcome back, Donovan Edwards, 46 yards.
Martin, the backup tackle, comes in at right tackle. Here's the starting right tackle, right? Now watch what happens. Look at Washington. They go jumbo. You got 6 offensive linemen in. Look at everybody trying to get on the same page. Look at the communication. You got, no, you got to get that gap over there. Then they go to the pistol, and by the time they let it go, once again, Edwards finds a gap that's not accounted for using his vision and then the acceleration. Good job, good wrinkle again from Jim Harbaugh and Jerome Moore. And there's that overlooked shot, and Colston Loveland with a nice block there on Dominique Hampton to free him up.
So often you talk about shifting, you're talking about backs and tight ends and receivers. They're shifting the big fellas around.
Yeah, second time that they brought in that unbalanced, that big offensive line. And these little wrinkles, these little change-ups giving Washington issues.
Wolverines loaded with weapons in the run game. They go after their 1,000-yard rusher, and now it's Corum who's loose. Blake Corum down the sidelines. They've got an angle. He cuts it back and finally is brought down to the 20. Thaddeus Dixon saved the touchdown, but 59 more yards. Yeah, Kirk 0 for 2 so far in the deep shots tonight. They knew they were going to need some of those. Backs up on first down, is pressured and slung down at the 5. The pass rush gets home. That's big Kenneth Grant. In their recent games, and fakes the handoff. Big fella gets a great block on the edge. Nice job clearing out Loveland, and that wrinkle works nicely for 13 more.
Yeah.
Penix has time, launches, touchdown! Jalen McMillan, there is a flag down. It's near the goal line.
McMillan's right here in motion, and you're going to see him get open right off the line of scrimmage. Now, Odunze will be right here. This is where the penalty is. You'll see McMillan come into play on your left. You'll see Johnson with the obvious penalty right there. He just grabs a hold of him. But look at McMillan open up right away with a great route. The blitzing linebacker really opened it up, and Penix went from his right and then came all the way back to his left, and that's why the ball was late. But now you look at the run on third down, and you think, you know what, now that they scored, think about how much time they were able to work there, getting all the way down to 42 seconds.
Tybo Rogers is the back. Johnson not in there. Pump fake that direction, and now just has to lob it up, and it's intercepted. Picked off. Rogers tried to break it up. Will Johnson scooped it off the turf. The first turnover of the night. Penix slow to get up and hobbling off. He was hit by Mason Graham.
Yeah, Mason Graham does a heck of a job of just the force, the push into Michael Penix. Again, they're not blitzing. This is 4 guys. Look at Mason Graham push him right back into the quarterback. Ball goes up into the air. He tries to throw it away.
Corum bursts through a hole and is finally brought down at the 16 by Elijah Jackson. Momentum turning on a dime here. Screen to the tight end, Devin Culp. Big fella running through tackles. Trying to run over people. He's in Michigan territory with another first down. And a flag comes in after the play. Gross drives it right through.
Couple quarters.
Washington crowding the line on this third down. McCarthy dodges some pressure, escapes, and J.J. McCarthy is still running, rambling out across the 30.
Sees that open up. We talked about it all night. His feet will be a factor at some point in this game.
Burton third for the first time, Kirk. That's his longest run of the season at 22. Keeper again. This time no scramble. They just feed the hot hand, and the quarterback goes for another first down out across the 40. McCarthy pulls it and finds Loveland over the middle. And the tight end galloping deep into Husky territory. The man from Idaho makes a huge play.
Last 2 years with McCarthy at quarterback.
It's a very crafty play calls down here. Instead, they just hand it this time to Corum. Steps back, breaks a tackle. Touchdown, Michigan.
Change the complexion of the momentum of things. We got Michigan into more of an up-tempo approach on this drive. They sensed an opportunity. They capitalized with a little over 7 minutes to go. Jim Harbaugh's feeling good.
Launching downfield, Odunze's wide open. A bust. And this time the play will stand. He's inside the Michigan 30. Penix looks the other direction down the seam. It's intercepted by Sandristil. Mikey Sandristil has a couple of blockers. A convoy. Michigan set up inside the 10. Mikey Sandristil. Biggest play of this defense tonight.
Look how tight this coverage is, and he decides to put it in. He does have a Dunze back here, and he never looked for him. Instead, he tries to squeeze it into coverage, even to the right flat. The tight end, Jack Westover, is open. It's almost a check down. At least would have had maybe a chance. But instead, he tries to throw a Hail Mary into Jalen McMillan.
80 Corum behind Bredesen. He's got it. Michigan barrels in. And the maize and blue on the brink of ending a championship drought.
Get to the house. Instead, he sets up McCarthy and his offense, and how fitting, number 2 on the other end. You get the interception by number 0, a great leader on that side, and then Blake Corum with the career that he's had and how much he's meant to this program pounds it in. And Michigan they're just minutes away from this national championship now.
Figure there are people out there that believe that whatever Michigan does is tainted. That's up to you to decide, but hail, hail Michigan. They are the champions of college football 2023.
First down, make it 9, touchdown Notre Dame! Leonard has to dig deep right away, but the Irish draw first blood. For number 13 over there. We're going to see this explosive Ohio State offense. The Buckeyes are behind in a playoff game for the first time this year.
Notre Dame got pressure on the right side on that last throw from R.J. Oben.
Low snap, Henderson with a burst, breaks a tackle. Trevion Henderson has the edge. It is finally going to be driven out of bounds. That's Xavier Watts, the All-American safety who made the stop. And 2nd and 5, play fake. Howard flips it. Smith's got it, and the freshman just waltzes in as the Buckeyes score to answer the Irish. Ray spotted it, but they couldn't do anything about it. So Ohio State gets even here. First minute of the second quarter. What a start to this heavyweight collision for the championship.
The touchdown to Jeremiah Smith.
This is a Buka on the end around. Stiff arm. Then the receiver gets involved in the running game. And a big gain out to the 37 before Drake Bowen got him. First and goal. Judkins slips a tackle. Quinshon Judkins dives for the end zone, and Ohio State makes it 2 for 2 and takes the lead.
For this Buckeye offense, Jaden Osbury, number 4, gets off a block and then takes that stiff arm right into the turf. I tell you, he's not the biggest back. He's 215.
Buckeyes perfect on 3rd down, but this is their longest goal to yards to go at 7. Pressure does come. Howard is hit, but he gets it out, and it's Ennis who's loose on the far sideline. Quarterback stood in there in the neighborhood, but you think Chip Kelly might begin to take a shot here. Howard instead took a peek to the perimeter and then just ducks in Takes about 1.5 yards loss. Joshua Burnham made the play.
Ibuka behind him. And, you know, that's kind of you're either going to run the football or your outlet is to fire it out there quickly. If the defenders allow you to think you can make.
Howard stood in and found Ennis showing pressure again. Howard again has time, delivers across the middle. That's another accurate throw. He is on a roll right now. Again, plenty of time, no pressure. Just tripped up as he had tried to escape the pocket. Joshua Burnham closed him down. I don't think Howard knew he was that close.
What a hustle play from Burnham.
Howard looking across the middle and has space, takes up, touchdown! Sneaking open was Quinshon Judkins. And Ohio State stretches the lead with a third long touchdown drive tonight.
In a zone defense, this is where Judkins is out of the backfield. But watch the defense in the eyes, the threat. Remember, Will Howard's been doing this and hurting him. Look at the 4 defenders. They're not going to let him take off and run again, even though it's zone. And nobody communicates and picks up Judkins, who slips right behind those defenders who are worried about that quarterback scramble again. What a drive for Ohio State. We just talked about it before they got it. It's an opportunity maybe for a knockout punch, because not only do you score.
Didn't hit a deep shot against Texas. He was almost perfect against Tennessee and Oregon. Haven't had to employ that tonight. Judkins breaks free. Quinshon Judkins hits a sprint. And they'll finally run him down at the 5. An explosive play for Ohio State. Pick it up where they left off. Grabbed 70 right there. And that possession was a second down sprint.
Yeah, what a good job of feeling that and seeing it. Like I said, if you're Judkins looking at the defense, they're moving to your left, reacting to the motion, reacting to the counter.
Big old fullback 49 in front of Judkins, as well as the 3 tight ends. Power formation. Judkins, easy. And Ohio State stretches and flexes. On from 46 yards. And slides it inside the right upright. Leonard chased and knocked down Sonny Styles on the sack. Ohio State's front continues to be relentless. It's an 11-yard loss.
On the other side, right off of it, nobody picks him up. The back is late, and Price trying to come up.
Pressure again. It's picked up, and on the slant, the catch is made by Jaden. Greathouse is free. Greathouse gets a block. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Offense comes back to life for the first time since the first quarter. 75-yard drive, aided with a penalty.
A lot of credit here. He breaks 2 tackles. The first on the backup corner, Jermaine Matthews. Then the safety, Caleb Downs. And look at the block downfield here by 10 of Chris Mitchell to eventually get him into the end zone.
Faison, who comes in motion. Leonard rolling that way. Trouble pass into the middle, and an impact play finally from Jeremiah Love.
You have to be the aggressor. You have to make the offense feel that pressure, and they've not been able to do that tonight at all.
Ibuka on a little reverse inside pitch. Nice play design. Better execution. Ibuka weaving and dodging tackles. Lost the ball at the end.
Oh,
they run him down. They haven't made a signal yet. Yes, it is a fumble and the long-awaited takeaway.
Drake Bowen, 34. Look at it. His hand on that ball's out. That's a recovery. Notre Dame
play is under further review.
Yeah, they're going to take a look, but that knee was up. Chris, just as we were talking at the break, you
said they don't fumble, period. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. They hadn't fumbled since the Penn State game. It's been a while. What a great play, though, to punch it out. They had to force it. That was not an unforced error. That was an aggressive punch out.
Yeah, big play by Emeka Ibuka, but good effort. That's what they've been doing all year. Bowen knocks it out.
Leonard has time. Down the middle, catch made. It's Greathouse, who's made 2 big plays in the pass game in Ohio State territory. Across the middle, Evans, first down, Moore, still rumbling. Big fella deep into Ohio State territory, and the Irish got something going here. Exactly what they needed. It could not be a methodical drive. Had to happen quickly here. Leonard steps up, and he'll be swallowed. JT Tuimoloau out.
But they got to score before that 2-minute timeout.
Pressure, Leonard launching. Great house. But it's a catch. Touchdown, Notre Dame. The flag will be picked up. Jordan Hancock in coverage. What a ball.
Field goal that Doink, this is a touchdown in the middle. The slot fade. That's a really good receiver against a really good defensive back. Interference waved off. Ball's thrown. The focus there with that left arm to bring it in by Greathouse for the touchdown. And how about the call on the 2-point conversion? There's a really good look at it there from the AT&T connected cam.
Jarian Price is the back. Leonard under center. And they try to get it to Faison on the end around. He throws it and makes it. Caught by Collins. And the Irish back within 8 with plenty of time left. Throwing is in his repertoire, right?
That's right. Bo Collins is up there. You know, he's on that play side. The entire Ohio State defense thought they had the play stopped. They came up to take Faison. Nobody stayed in the back to Bo Collins. And they easily get the 2-point conversion to cut it to 8. See, the backers are moving. Here they come.
Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it! Jeremiah Smith hadn't had a touch in the second half until that.
They went 0, meaning they blitzed 7. They left everybody on an island, and Ohio State thinks that's a mismatch with Jeremiah Smith against anybody. Not only that, but the corner, Christian Gray, gave him a cushion.
Keeper, don't even risk a handoff, and Howard goes to the right and ducks under the tackle of Schuler. You miss it, and the Irish have hope. It's good. And Ohio State is going to walk out of Atlanta national champions.
About Ohio State. It's about Ohio State overcoming some of their own adversity, obviously, at the end of the year, and getting on a determined 4-game run led by that man right there.
The longest, toughest postseason climb in the history of the sport. And after all that, it's Ohio State together at the mountaintop. Champions of college football. Massive respect between these two tremendous leaders. Ohio State won the first national championship in the playoff here of the 4-team bracket 10 seasons ago. Now with the newer, bigger bracket, the job harder to do. And again, it's Ohio State, last team standing.